This video will show you how to replace the ignition coil on a Chrysler Town Country with a 3.8-liter engine. This will be located along the driver's side of your engine compartment. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Locate the ignition coil. After locating the ignition coil, we're paying attention to our 6 spark plug wires. Each one of these wires will lead to a corresponding spark plug, and we cannot mix these up. Prior to removing them, I'm going to make a clear marking on each one of my wires. You can mark these any way you'd like. I'm going to make 1 marking on the first wire, 2 markings on the next, and 3 on the last. These all lead to my forward spark plugs. Let's go ahead and make a marking on these as well. Now that I've made clear markings, we can start the removal process of each one of our spark plug wires. For these, we want to be careful not to damage them. We're just going to give them a slight twist and pull them out and away. Of course, a close inspection. If you see any corrosion, it needs to be taken care of. This wire looks good. I'll set it aside and repeat the process for all others. Now with all of our spark plug wires off of there, looking along the rearward side of the ignition coil pack, we can see that we have 1 electrical connector. As far as this electrical connector is concerned, it does have a locking tab that we need to dislodge before we can go too much further with the removal of this. So I'm using a small flathead screwdriver. I'm prying that out and away towards the center of the engine. Now at this point, we can squeeze on the next tab and pull this out of place. No corrosion there. Let's set that wiring aside. At this point, we can start removing our 2 10mm mounting nuts. You can see that there's 2 studs. You have 1 nut for each stud. After removing those, you can take hold of that ignition coil and lift it up and out of position. There it is, friend. Now, prior to installation of any brand new part, we want to make sure we clean and inspect our mounting area. Obviously, we have our 2 studs, but we also want to make sure that the base plate that this is going to be sitting on is clean as well. I'm just going to use a wire brush. Clean that as well as you deem fit. After confirming those mounting studs are in good usable condition, it's time for installation of the brand new ignition coil. We want to make sure we have it in the proper orientation. The area with the electrical connector would be facing towards the rear of the vehicle. We'll slide this into position. That should sit in place. I can see both of my studs making their way through the corresponding ports. Now that we have that rested in the proper placement, we'll continue on with our 2 10mm mounting nuts. Start them on and snug them up. Let's take hold of that. Confirm it does not move around in any way. We'll continue on to our electrical connector along the rearward side. Now as far as this electrical connector, we'll make sure we have it in the proper orientation. We're pressing it all the way towards the ignition coil. Now once you hear an audible click, a light tug to confirm it's in the proper placement and secure, we're going to lock it down with the red locking tab. Just double check. Perfect. Let's continue on to our ignition wires. Now, as far as our ignition spark plug wires, we've already marked them. They need to go back in their original positioning, just as I mentioned. During the installation of these, we're using some dielectric lubricant. We should be able to slide this into place. We're pressing it on as far as possible. After an audible click, give it a tug. It should not slide out of position. Continue on doing the same thing to all other wires. Once again, confirming they're in the proper placement. Double check to make sure each and every wire is in the proper placement and secure. Okay friend, we finished our installation. The next thing we need to do is make your way inside the passenger compartment, start the vehicle, confirm you do not have an engine misfire or check engine light. Close the hood and take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.